John Moses, welcome to another episode of Fight Stories. With us in spirit is my buddy up in Canada, Tyler Morrison. I'm in Hoboken, New Jersey, one of the least tough places in all of New Jersey.
It used to be tough.
right, I'm
It's
sure.
not tough anymore.
Right. With Artie Lange. Artie, thank you so much for doing the show.
What's up, John?
This is
my,
big.
My pleasure. All I'm waiting for is the Reverend Bob Levy to pick me up and bitch that he can't eat blue cheese out of a woman's ass. I was telling John about that's a bit that Bob did for 2 years when he sort of opened for me. And he gave me a video cassette once because I was a regular on Conan. He goes, give this to Conan. It said, in Magic Marker, can do this clean. And the set ended with him committing a sexual assault
With the blue cheese, eating blue cheese out of a chick's ass.
I met him, Staten Island guy, about 15 years ago. He's going to work with me, Stern crowd. I'm like, perfect. He says to me the first night, he goes, listen, my end bit is a little crazy. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I get a chick out of the front row. I try to get a hot chick, and I put blue cheese in her ass and lick it out. I've never said this when especially a road comic says a bit. I go, repeat that. And I want to hear the bit again. I go, your tongue's gonna touch your ass. and I'm John every fucking night for 2 years. A hot chick, like a Delaware ace. Arizona 2.
Yeah.
He would get her, but the fucking vibe,
It's amazing nothing was never passed, beyond some sort of salmonella or something,
know. Maybe something was.
Yeah.
And a couple of guys died.
And you said the guys would be like, do I fucking fight this guy or what?
It was a weird thing. I'm watching a guy, lick my wife's ass, but they were always ossified. The amount of drinking that goes on at a comedy club sometimes is really problem drinking on and off stage.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When I first started doing it with the Stern Show, my drinking problem was so massive. I didn't realize how massive of a drinking problem I had. Me and Levy would go to Zany's in Illinois, start drinking at the bar at 2:00. Our
insane.
Our salary was on the table, and we'd break even. You had 48 Coors Lights before show 1.
At 50% off.
And you know what? Okay, perfect leader with the theme here. Zany's in Vernon Hills, Illinois, is the closest I ever become to fighting a guy on stage. Did that ever happen to you? Fight a guy on stage?
No. But I've always said, because that video came out where the guy charged the guy on stage. I've threatened guys, if you step to the stage,
the guitar one, which is
no.
Too young. All right, you're too.
Oh yeah, I did see that one, the guitar one, where he fucking breaks it over his head.
The most unbelievable thing he says afterwards. The guy who charged is not even on screen, and he just hits El Kabongs him with the guitar, and the comic goes, "You saw he charged me."
Immediately starts thinking better of it, ooh.
Right, you just hear the guy stumble like a drunk, doesn't even know where he is. Boom.
Oh yeah.
And I don't. Which one are you talking about? A more recent one, I guess.
There was one that happened within the last 6 months.
Really?
Where a black comic and the guy getting on stage and this guy.
No more.
Yeah.
No, is that the one where he's got the mic stand and he's
yeah.
Club. It's
About a week after that happened, some old guy gets up and he says, "I was doing a very nice sexual assault bit." And some woman stood up in protest, and I go, "What? This isn't a march."
Really?
And I started lighting her up.
This isn't a march.
And I watched the video. Oh yeah, and I'm watching the video, and the husband is laughing for right up until she stands up.
Good for him.
Yeah, right up until she stands up.
He has to
and then she stands up, and then he goes, "I'm going to kick his ass." And I said, "Listen, old man, if
How
you
old
rush,
is he?
Your age."
Looked 80?
Yeah. I said, if you come up to the stage, I'm going to kick your fucking head off.
Allowed, at that point, you probably would get away with it if you charged.
Yeah, I'm not even waiting for them to get on stage. If you approach the stage, I'm going to kick your fucking head off.
Right. I grew up, in basically South Newark, New Jersey, where I 33% of my high school was Irish, the other 33 was Italian, the other 33 was black, and everybody got along because there were insanely great sports teams, and everybody got along. But they we all had bookies at 13, right by the Staten Island, and really bad gambling with all those ethnicities. There's a kid I went to high school with, a black kid, 6'8", played 6'8". He played tight end for I think maybe Iowa, and got hurt. He's a bouncer now.
The education part in Iowa didn't work out.
I thought the blue part of the globe was the sky until yesterday.
Financial advisor.
And he, but again, way funnier than Levy. He had 5 kids by like the 8th grade. This kid, like really a black guy.
Yeah.
And the greatest kid. So we would get into arguments. We had a rule when we were gambling that if an ethnicity fucked us over for a lot of money, we could say whatever we wanted. Like,
Nice.
And people really adhered to that rule. It was really like an honorable thing. And I got into a fight with one kid because I went to Hollywood and I didn't realize that
the rule didn't fucking apply.
I kept doing it in front of the black writers for Mad TV.
Yeah.
And again, thank God they had a sense of humor. If you're going to write.
Yeah.
A lot of comedy writers don't have senses of humor now.
Ugh.
But I fucking said. I said something horrible, and my only explanation was I said, look, Warren Moon just did an interception that cost me a mortgage payment. Okay, African American ain't cutting it. It wasn't like the worst one, like, but it was bad. Like it was some like spoon or something, like moon cricket.
Yeah. Why did I think moon cricket when you said it wasn't the worst one? I went moon cricket.
That's the one.
That's the one. My mind went right
David
there.
David Spade taught me moon cricket.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have said that, but his last name is a good one.
Moon. Yeah. Oh, it's moon. I mean, it lends itself.
Yeah, your last name is Spade. He's a funny man.
Oh, I thought you meant Warren Moon. I was like, cricket's hanging right there.
David, that's right. But that's perfect.
Right.
See, I should have a punch-up guy. A racist punch-up guy.
Yeah,
Dude, his last name's Moon.
Yeah. It's like Wheel of Fortune, when it's just like the rest of the words blacked out. You know,
what is the great Simpsons joke? Yeah, are you a Simpsons guy? I mean, like,
I haven't watched.
After 42 years.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't?
They had in the first 5 years, the greatest gambling joke was Mo the bartender bets against the Globetrotters. And he's watching the game. He's going, he's using a ladder. Ref, you can't see the ladder. It's never water. It's always confetti. It's never water. Yeah. The generals were due. But there was some. But I again, comedy's got to be. Like, there's got to be a swing back to some sort of, really rebellious time. I mean, there's not fun. The political rugby, there's no funny. They're not funny people that are getting on stage. I don't mind if you're not offensive,
Yeah, right. Yeah, me neither. I mean, I laugh, when it's funny to me. But if I see one more chick in a cat sweater on Conan,
I know. There was some gay guy on Conan that me and Anthony played. Already a problem. But again, I don't care. Mario Cantone makes me laugh. I mean, you can hear the Wizard of Oz so much, but I like a real funny fucking gay guy. There's funny gay guys. But the guy was just so, telling you like, I talk about diversity in my act. I'm like, well, how about talking about a joke?
Dude, I was at a show in Lower Manhattan the other day. It was like a tolerance pissing contest.
That's unbelievable.
And it's fine.
You have to have a punch.
But that can't be. But also, if I'm going to go up there and say something that's not that, how about a little tolerance for that?
Yeah, no,
like, do I have to cater to that crowd specifically all the time?
Perfect analogy.
Right.
If you're going to fucking talk about your diversity, how come I can't say, nigger midget?
Yeah, or just a joke about my fucking kid. It's like we don't relate to that. We all feel mildly. We all feel mildly gay now, but you have a kid.
Right. Yeah, I'll relate to your dick sucking joke. Or someone needs a third bathroom. First of all, I have all friends in construction. They are totally into building as many bathrooms as you want. Secondly, if the new Giant Stadium or whatever has a third fucking bathroom and there's a line at the shitter and all I have to say to somebody is, I feel like a broad.
Yeah.
I mean, how many fucking brownies am I going to shit next to? I
take shits in women's rooms if there's no line, and then I'll just say, go ahead, quiz me.
Absolutely. Again, you're not allowed to. Again, the show Crashing is unbelievable to me. I love them. Judd and Peter are wonderful people. They gave me. I have benefits because of them. But
right.
There's stuff like I said the word cocksucker, like improvising, like I'm Ryan Stiles, and the crew laughs, whatever. Yeah. Because it's what's the word, funny, and I said I called a guy a cocksucker, and HBO executive comes over and says, you got to change that. I'm like, to what? He goes, whatever, you asshole or something. I go, well, why? He goes, because you said it like it's a negative thing. And, I I paused. I paused for as long as I could before I said one of us has to blink. You know, I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like in Newark. You know.
Please.
For a guy, it's the
yeah, please.
And honestly, yeah.
On Game of Thrones, some guy's fucking his sister while he pushes a kid out a window, and I say cocksucker, and it's a fucking issue?
That's Hollywood. Fucking, you can win an Oscar if you give a chick Quaaludes at Nicholson's house and fuck her in the ass. But I think... what's his face? Brett Ratner was going to host the Oscars, and they found a tape of him in high school, you know, saying "fig" under his breath, and he couldn't do it.
Right
now, they're going back. You know,
I know. Well, that's just it. They're judging everything historically by today's standards.
I might as well I might as well just go to the port again.
Oh yeah,
and start.
Oh dude,
start loading a truck.
Oh yeah, I just passed my home inspector's exam.
That's what I mean. It's like they take the fun out of it. You know?
Yeah. So you grew up in Newark. I read Livingston.
I grew up in Union. Which is like it's the first step out of Newark. I lived in Newark for a while, and then. But I had all buddies there, and the one like real Italian section where the mob kind of had it locked down,
right?
Where you could, as Nick DiPaolo said once in Boston, the black guys hop to it up here. Black guy ran by the car like I was going to run away. But again, Boston's that kind of town where you realize that Mark Wahlberg is I don't know. I'll drop you.
Right. Well, Mark Wahlberg. That's another one. He wouldn't have a career today if you were judging by those standards.
I guess Andy Samberg did an impression of him, and there's a bootleg tape of him at a party after SNL. The shit he's saying to Andy Samberg, like the Grand Dragon of the Tulsa Clan would go, whoa. Like he's like, real, like calling him a big nose. He doesn't say Jew, but big nose.
Right.
Make a big leap.
It's synonymous.
I mean, some Italians, whatever.
Right.
I had one because of cocaine.
Right. I got a joke where I say my lawyer and his big schnoz, and I said, hey, listen, he's Italian. If you went Jew, that's on you. You know?
Cokehead.
Right.
That's what I mean, exactly. You're fucking making it up.
Right.
Again, that's another fun thing of seeing where an audience's fucking faggot mind will go sometimes.
Right.
Whatever. Pussy mind.
Thanks for cleaning that up. Thanks for saving me the edit.
I'll get us both fucking thrown out of this.
Yeah.
But here's the way around. Like, I went to Afghanistan to do stand-up for the troops. I brought a tell with me, and he went up there. And this is like if you could be this clever with this bullshit, fine. But again, we shouldn't be forced to be like this good.
Right.
We could talk about masturbating. That's what they said. And they said because I guess it's an epidemic, right? Like soldiers. I broke a record in 10 days, jerking off to a chick who looked like Brad Garrett. And,
you can't take us from masturbating because it's going to trigger them to start jerking off in the stands.
Exactly. Like
these guys are killing people, and you can't fucking talk about jerking off.
We were on a Black Hawk right after I heard that rule. Black Hawk helicopter. 2 redneck kids go, "Oh, do you want to shoot this fucker?" The gun, and I couldn't hit a mountain with it. They called me a fag, and I go, "What if I He goes, "Taliban families go out in them spider holes." I'm like, "What if I kill a kid?" He goes, "One less kid I gotta kill." I'm like, "Shit, yeah, you don't want to hear this masturbating joke." You ever jerk off like you motherfucker?
Yeah, that's it.
So, but a tell gets the first thing out of a tell's mouth in Kabul at an outdoor. I got packed sort of thing. There's soldiers. He says, we can't talk about masturbating. I won't break that rule. I'd like to tell you a story about the time I was fucking a sock with shampoo in it. It got a 10-minute standing ovation. After that, you're going to talk about the president jerking off. And again, the Marine who gave us the rule, he knew it was kind of stupid. And he laughed and he goes, and at that point they go, it's just dumb. Even they go, I know it's dumb.
Yeah.
But a good example of, the Zany story. I don't know what I said, but it must have been, a lot of times a chick will heckle you in 2003. Zany's, Vernon Hills, Illinois. If I ever get suicidal again, I'm going to go to Vernon Hills, Illinois, Zany's. Because there is nothing that will change your mind. There's no reason to tell Bruce Dern not to go to the ocean and coming home at Vernon Hills, Illinois. I think it's closed. But I must have said something about the guy's wife. He gets up like at Chicago. He looked like a white Mike Singletary. a gun, and he's coming towards the stage. No security stops him, so I'm trying to like ignore him, and then I go, he's closer, and I'm like, well, something's gonna happen.
Right.
And I literally go, I'm just gonna, he's slow enough. I could definitely size him up.
Yeah.
I got to hear with a punch. A security guy tackled him and me right off stage, and I go, dude, did you eye that up a little? Did you eye that up a little better? You couldn't hit the 400-pound guy alone.
Yeah, or
the guy had 400 pounds.
10 seconds before he got to the stage.
I wanted to, he goes, we were mad at you too. I'm like, what? What were you mad? The fucking enormous alcoholic crowd I drew for
right.
$18 for a gin and tonic.
Right, for paying your salary for the year tonight.
What do you mean? I was on Stern at the time. Everything. It was 5 sold out shows. You tackled me too. But that's as close as I ever got to fight. But I would have hit him.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you were gearing up for it.
I was like, you know.
Well, when I texted you and I was like, "Yeah, it's fight stories," you're like, "I got 14 stories where I sound like a drugged up pussy," and I was like, "Wait a second. You're from Jersey. I feel like you come off like you'd throw a fucking shot." You know.
Also, I like to think. Well, again, when you're drinking and doing blow, on blow and drinking, I'd probably fight you. I would not.
Right. yeah.
There's nothing. Anything you did in here, right? This is my apartment. I probably would not fight you. But that is like when you're from again, the vibe I get from you, and definitely North Jersey. Like if I had, I don't know, Suge Knight in here with a 9mm, you're not going to be a fag and call the cops. Like I'm calling these other men who are going to beat you up.
Right.
I'd probably throw stuff out or whatever.
Right.
And I was in LA County Jail for 2.5 months, and when I was 28. I possession of coke, but I took a swing at a Los Angeles cop. A big up for 5 days. Up for 5 days. Lost $25,000 on the Holyfield Tyson fight. The first Holyfield Tyson fight, I thought Tyson was going to murder him.
Me too. Everybody did.
I mean, leading up to that, the guys, how he knocked out Trevor Berbick. Like, remember Trevor Berbick couldn't stand?
Right.
Like Trevor Berbick was aware he was on Queer Street. Like, damn, fuck, I can't stand up. Beating people up on the street, beating up cars. There was a weird thing where he would beat up Bill, like he would say, "I'm gonna pick up the post office and hit you with it," and then Buster Douglas got in his head.
I know, man.
It was really a mental thing.
It really is. And I was reading a book about audiobook. I didn't really read it.
I was writing one.
That's right. You've written books.
I have. A guy listened to the show.
But he came and telegraphed everything. But they were saying even lobsters, if they fight each other, the one that loses.
Heard that for black guys.
These lobsters, right?
No. There's a mental thing.
But there's a mental. But it's a DNA thing.
Right. Okay.
When
do lobsters have DNA? That really makes you sad to burn them in the water. Now I don't want to do that.
But I did think of Tyson though. When he was saying that, I did think of Tyson. It's like once you lose that first fight, you're 5 times more likely to lose the next one.
Right. Absolutely. And he got and Holyfield was a technician, man, with 18 kids in Atlanta.
But there's no what?
18 kids with
Holyfield's got 18 kids?
Talk about a man. 18 kids at a mansion in Atlanta spreading his seed. I'm like, does he even consider a rubber? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Forget it.
And 18 kids, I think, with 14 women all in the same house. In a mansion, he goes, I like to have the women there.
They all live in the same house?
14 for 18. For a while they did.
How isn't that a Netflix documentary? That's better than anything that's on TV.
He's a fucking dude.
Yeah, right. He controls the narrative on that one.
God forbid a woman comes in, like a woman camera person, will fuck her, she'll have a kid. Yeah. Any woman who comes in here is getting pregnant.
Right, to this day.
But, he fought a perfect fight against him. But again, do you remember the guy Customato who clearly fucked Mike Tyson? The Lou Pearlman of his life. The Italian guy, there were rumors of it. The Italian guy took him from
Tyson's Catholic priest.
Brownsville, Brooklyn is where he lived till he was 14.
Yeah.
And he was the kind of trouble-got person. He was beating up old ladies in phone booths. Old women beating them up.
Tyson.
Shoving a pigeon up their ass or something. What? Assaulting, and he was about to go away forever because he was beating up old women.
Wait, I thought he loved pigeons.
I don't have a lady. The pigeon was, I'm going to put a pigeon in your ass. I think a woman quoted him with that. The kind of guy John Gotti would walk away from with his crew. Really like a very scary kid from Brownsville.
And a fucking kid. Yeah. A kid when he's doing this.
They got that Kevin Rooney guy, the Irish guy who worked for Customato, and he got Customato was this heavy set Italian guy. There was rumors that he, fucked guys, men and boxers, whatever.
Whoa!
But the mitts thing, he's doing the mitts, like hitting them with the mitts. And Rooney's not that heavy set, but the face Mike Tyson is making, 20 years old, he's just a bull, like an animal. And you go after the way he knocked down Michael Spinks. I drove with a broad I did not like to a fucking closed circuit party about an hour and a half to watch Michael fucking asswipe Spinks. What was it? 90 seconds, and then I thought, oh my god, the whole ride home, drunken whore, and I lost, I lost a lot of money on. I thought Spinks had a shot over on rounds. I lost everything.
Yeah.
So I said, fuck it, I'm making it all back. I am not betting against the Buster Douglas thing, whatever. He's gonna train. And he just methodically got his. I lost 25 grand
on Douglas or Holyfield?
On
Holyfield.
Holyfield. So I lose that money. Quincy Jones, who was the producer of Mad TV, who, I doubt you'll get him, but the perfect guy for this podcast. Look, he produced Mad TV.
Can you make a call?
John, I'm going to try to explain this. He was like there were 8 people in the original cast of Mad TV, which it lasted 14 years. I got nice checks for that. And I was the only one who didn't go to Yale Drama, Northwestern, whatever, Groundling. And I was literally loading an orange juice truck 2 years before. That guy, David Cross, pissed me. I had such a chip on my shoulder. I was 27. My manager said, this guy, David Cross, he's like big in alternative comedy. He was a writer on the pilot. He goes, go up to him, guy, you don't know anybody in L.A. I did something. He gave me like a smug look. I said, my manager. And I literally, I couldn't let that go. I went back to my apartment, and I had to go back and find out what office he was in. And I almost got fired because I cornered him. I said, I'm going to throw you out of a window. Like I said, I'm not going to try to outwit you. I said, I'm going to jump I'm going to throw you out of a window. And then we read a network read through, and I play a.
Wait. What did he do when you said, I'm going to throw you out a fucking window? But was his face like, was he like, whoa?
He was scared.
Oh, that's so great.
And I just, but oh no! First of all, how embarrassing if I get beat up by David Cross. I doubt that would happen. So I get the show gets picked up. There's a guy, Phil Lamar, black kid, went to Yale Drama. So not a black kid, but unbelievably a smart fucking Italian chick dated him. My buddy Italian guy comes to visit me, finds that out, wants to say something to him. I said, I'm in Hollywood right now, though. We're not in fucking the lunch line in Newark. What are you going to say to him?
Yeah, nobody lost a bet.
I'm Artie's friend. And then where do you go?
Yeah, right.
Punch out the girl? Maybe. He was drunk. I go, you going to punch out the girl? Maybe.
He said that. He did say maybe.
Like the kind of guy with 2 drinks and forget it.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing. An Italian guy who's short, like my buddy Frankie. That Napoleon thing is a real fucking thing. And
I'm telling you,
learned how to fight early, and I never saw to this day a better fighter in my
life.
The
people we talk to on this podcast, it's always the fucking little guys who are the craziest animals. Because I at least have size on my size, which will deter some people.
Which means, look, I'm my old man again, the most street smart guy ever. This is not a thing a lot of people don't know anymore. But
right,
if you got a chance to fight a guy in a fucking playground, and one guy is a short guy who will hit you with a pipe, and the other guy is Suge Knight. My father will fight the short guy. But really consider it. No, if a guy is crazy enough to hit you with a bat or something, don't go near him. And when I went to L.A. County, Quincy again liked me because he thought I was a blue collar guy, kind of like him.
Right.
I had 7 conversations with him.
I love that.
7 conversations with the guy who produced Thriller in 2 years. Okay, I said my Italian aunts would go, ask him about the theme for Sanford. I'm like, he wrote the theme for Sanford. He's drinking one day at a luncheon. I go, hey, I love that song for Sanford. And he goes, fucking 20 minutes. I go, what? He goes, I was smoking opium up, fucking 20 minutes. I go, what are you talking about? I go, Red Fox called me. I'm doing a show about garbage. I go, what? Yeah, he goes, I need a theme song. I'm like, I wrote that shit smoking opium in 20 minutes. Now, the drug addict in me, all I heard was opium. And I said, you know where to get, this is the kind of relationship. I go, you know where to get opium? He goes, yeah. I go, where? He goes, I'm telling you. But I still obsess about that. So imagine the money he made off that song.
Yeah, right.
And he was a musical genius, music and pussy. That is it.
Yeah.
And
well, if you're gonna be good at two things, those are two pretty good
why
things.
Not?
Yeah.
I'd
rather be that than the cake boss.
I go to jail for taking a swing at the cop. And okay, he starts calling the guards to get me. It's Quincy, so he knows somebody.
The cop.
Now the guards don't know exactly who I know, but because I was on Mad TV, which is like rated 82. If you're a celebrity, you get your own show, and the guards like in front of people. That's why we got to give him his own show. Okay, calm down. I didn't know a Mexican kid watched the show, and I did a sketch called White Mama where I screamed like a black woman.
Yeah.
And the Mexican kid, you go to White Mama. And I didn't know the rules. Murderer, snitch, or sort of celebrity, own cell. And which a big deal. I was handcuffed while we got processed for 6 hours to a Mexican kid who was bleeding from the ankle. The Mexican mafia stabbed him in his ankle, had a hit out on him. Full back tattoo of Speedy Gonzalez, the cartoon character.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to explain, that's amazing work. He goes, dude, I gave him my God number. I'm like, you're bleeding. He goes, I'm bleeding. In fact, if that kid didn't recognize me, at 3 a.m., I was here for 2.5 months. So you got to shower, I was trying to stay away from the shower.
Wait. You're for the obvious reason?
Well, I mean, for maybe the hackiest reason.
Yeah.
Also, it's like again, compared to Newark, it was like Shangri-La. It was like Maui Four Seasons, from what I remember. But again, I was in my 20s, and possession of blow. But I took a swing at that fucking cop right after the LA riots, though. God. And so I thought I was standing up for the black kids on the show who were all watching me, 11 feet from me, get arrested. Like executives, agents, the worst way you could leave a television show. I went, if I was a nigger, you'd fucking fight me. And I go, Orlando, the black kids, you think that we like this? You'd probably fight me. Well, if I was a nigger, you'd hit me like an Irish cop.
Right, guys?
And Orlando just goes, you pissed everyone off. Yeah. So one guy who didn't want to hit you in the face.
Yeah. For once, you unified the blacks and the cops,
I never say that.
Right.
That's the first time you ever said it to a cop.
Right.
So again, it's like the black kids I grew up with were so cool with that as long as they come back. It was very, I was just saying it in front of, my father was the kind of street justice guy where if he heard a kid say it, he'd go, I'm going to take you to the black neighborhood. If you say it there, you can say it here.
Right. Listen.
Which
I feel that way in fucking comedy.
I agree with all
I feel that way in comedy. I'm like,
that's a good way. Yeah,
it's like, hey, you want to fucking be edgy, dude, and drop an M-bomb over your glasses in front of in front of all these white kids? Let's go uptown. Let's go uptown.
And it's funny. Like a lot of people forget that some black comics are like Sherrod is from Bed-Stuy, which is
right.
I don't think it was gentrified when he was there.
I'm sure he was. I'm sure it wasn't.
Yeah, and. I won't say. Maybe you know the story, but there's a comic who's sort of a big deal now. I heard that.
Yeah.
Might have said something out of line. Like, Sherrod supposedly slapped them, like openly slapped them.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not for that, I guess.
Right.
But, I'd rather see Sherrod do that than have sex with a white chick. But but again, Sherrod's guy, you could say that to that guy, and it's fun. He was mad because the kid did something. He treated him like an asshole. It wasn't a joke, and it wasn't a joke. And I said, I would love to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
A comic who can fight is a great thing to me because there's a lot of guys who will, like some of these, witty guys from Emerson or whatever, will go there, and sometimes you go, I'm out of words. I'm out of fucking words.
So I like how you went to David Cross. You're like, I'm not going to go tit for tat with him. I'm just going to throw you out a window.
I said, I'm jumping right to
that. That is always my default. I'm always like, worst case scenario, I'll break his nose, and then somebody be like, oh, he's a black belt. I'm like, fuck.
No, worst case scenario is I go flying out a window.
Yeah, right.
No, that's not what happened. I used to do a joke where, you remember when karate first started, like little kids, yuppie kids would take karate.
Yeah.
And you would say their drunken father I grew up with, any black belt could kick your ass. I'm like, whatever. And then he goes, his 11-year-old daughter's a black belt. I go, pick a place and a time. I'm going to prove a point. I'm going to beat the fuck out of it. Tell her to put her gi on with the black belt, and I will, a 280-pound alcoholic will fucking beat the fuck out of your black belted daughter.
There are guys who have said, like, oh, so-and-so's a Golden Gloves, or so-and-so's a black belt. I go, I'll still kill them.
Right.
I can tell by the look in their eyes I'll kill them. And I might be totally wrong, but I'll go. I'll try.
Absolutely. And like inner city kid can size that up.
Yeah.
You know, you could tell who has fear in their fucking eyes.
Right. Yep.
That's exactly how if I was half the tough guy my old man was. He got to like the 9th grade, got kicked out of school because he sucker punched his principal because he thought the principal was hitting on his girlfriend. And
he probably was.
Like low-level mob ties. But when I was born, he had $200,000 in counterfeit money. He was holding for this low-level Italian family, like, not sophisticated.
Right.
The week before I'm born, the feds. And he goes, that's why sometimes you don't cheat on people. Like I was cheating on your mother with this cunt who ratted me out. I go, I don't even know. He's paralyzed from the neck down when he said that. I go, I'm afraid of you. He was the kind of street tough guy. My old man, the last 4 years of his life, was paralyzed from the neck down. If a guy broke in, I'm confident my father would have talked him out of robbing the house.
Yeah, right. Or ripped his neck out with his mouth.
Something like, my mother got back at him for a lot. He couldn't move. Couldn't fucking. Guy used to hurt my arm. Like I could do pull-ups on his. He couldn't fucking wipe his ass, wipe his nose. I got taught how to put him in a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he had a crazy guy he would ask me to kill him when he's all pilled up. And I go, what's the game plan with me though? I'm 22. Like, what if I? I got guys that get chatty. I'm like, yeah, right. I'm gonna trust your fucking friend from the 10th grade to get me out of the fucking country.
Yeah, right.
I'm lambing it in Brazil with it.
Don't cripple me with this.
I'm 11 years old. This is okay. I'm 11 years old. This is the best fight thing I ever saw in my life. My father, again, who was my hero, but this is the way he raised me. Wildwood, New Jersey, Jersey Shore, 1978. My mother, was a looker back then, I guess. I didn't realize it. But she had like short, like sort of, stud shorts on. She was 32 years old. My old man was 31. I'm 10. My sister's 9. And we're walking like a very Jersey-looking family.
Sure.
A lot of cotton candy. And I remember I was arguing with him. I wanted to get an ice cream, whatever. A guy, while I'm talking to my father, grabs my mother's ass. Now, there's a couple, like 3 guys, and they're like biker-looking guys. And my father's other rules is always somebody tougher,
Yeah.
He was a boxer for Golden Shower. And but again, in my opinion, the real deal. But the moment I had where I said, maybe my father's a fucking total pussy. Okay. He sees it out of the corner of his eye. I kind of see it. And my mother's kind of worried doesn't want him doing it.
Oh, my God.
And she's saying to the 2 kids, just get out of here. Just get out of here. Fuck you, they're drunk. Adult kids. And my father looks at my mother, and she kind of knows. She grabs my sister, doesn't touch me, because it's like, I have to see this. I'm the boy. And
Great.
Goes to get the car.
Wait. Your mom went to get the car?
Get the car. Okay. And when I tell you what of a good fucking Newark broad, she forgets she was. All right. My father goes up to the guy who grabbed her. He told us the whole thing. Now I'm 9 years old. He goes up to the guy and he goes, I'll never forget this, almost verbatim. He goes, listen, she asked for it. She's a slut. She wears those fucking pants. I'm so fucking sorry. And at 9 years old, I'm going, my father's a fucking fag. John, this is the coolest thing of all time. Like out of a movie. I see his fist go like this. Right here, over the top, just boom, just levels the guy with one punch, grabs the guy's beer like an action movie, and hits his friend up and with his left hand is beating up the other guy, beat up 3 guys. And now, but the 2 other guys had to look at the pussies,
Yeah.
The other guy was a maniac. He was drunk. Took care of him first with a sucker punch.
No, but that was not a sucker punch. That guy
punch?
Damn sure fucking deserved it.
Okay, no, that's okay, right.
You know what I mean? He hit him first.
Yeah,
if he would have sucker punched him, he never would have said, hey, I'm sorry. He totally disarmed him. He totally disarmed him with that.
Absolutely.
Listen, I know about sucker punches.
For now, when he said, I'm sorry to my mother, I'm like, Mom, watch out.
Yeah.
You see this coming.
Every time.
Don't fall for this.
Every time he apologizes for 20 years, it's the boy who cried wolf.
I'm sorry, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Yeah. But now, it's again, from that, is there anybody cooler than my father in my life?
Yeah.
Again, kids are not raised like that anymore. I saw him make the fist. It was like in slow motion.
Yeah, right. You're watching the whole plan come together.
Almost like he timed it out where he arranged it with the cops. Just like where he said the cops are going to come. Grabs me by my arm. I'm off the ground. Grabs me. My mother pulls up. in a Pontiac. And I get in the car. He looks at her. She gets out of the car. He gets in the driver's seat. We drive away, and we were at the motel, the Cruise Motel, having like some salads and some pizza. Like
what? But did they talk about it? Like, was your mother like, I can't believe you did that? And he was
my
like,
mother knew when not to do that. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah. She was. I mean, she was turned. You know the part in Goodfellas,
yes,
where he pistol whips the guy.
Yeah.
Which by that scene, I bring this up to all my buddies. What if De Niro went with him? Like
yeah.
De Niro's choking Maury. It's Carrie. Like, wow. What if De Niro stopped choking Maury? And goes, what would happen to us?
Yeah.
Jimmy Burke.
Right.
And the scene, I gotta admit, it turned me on. That's my mother.
Right.
My mother was, came from no money. My father was even the worst side of the tracks, but she was going to marry a guy who was the other side of the tracks type of guy, college guy, owned an insurance company and a house in Connecticut. The whole, and I wouldn't exist, I guess, if that happened. But I just got to admit this. She met my father before she broke up with the guy. 2 weeks before the wedding.
Yeah.
The engagement party happened. Italian fucking wedding's about to happen,
and your mom shut that down.
Shut it down.
Whoa, that's big.
Because she met my father in a stolen Plymouth Fury, it looked like Brando in the Wild Ones, in a diner, and just my father looked like Tony Curry. You know what? I'll show him to you. He looks like a 7, but he looks like a movie star. That's Spider-Man in 1973.
Oh yeah, you know what he looks like? You know what he looks like right there? Yeah. Fucking Matthew McConaughey.
That's
exactly what he looks like.
That's a good call. But look at that 70. Look at the white. He's got a white belt on.
Yeah.
White belts are for junkies at this point.
Right, in a Cadillac.
Long hair. He's like a Doors fan.
He is Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused. He is that fucking character on that car right there.
That is the best. Dazed and Confused. Could he have been? He should have died after that.
Yeah.
But he not his car. Put the license plate on.
Right.
He would hit me ground balls. He would hit me ground balls with a fungo bat, and there was a guy in the backyard of a school, and he would like really meticulously, like a nerdy-looking guy who loved golf. He would meticulously make a golf green. Like in 10 minutes later, the guy would go to dinner. My father would start hitting me grounded on the golf, and the guy would come out, and my father would go, "There's always a golf fag."
Yeah, your dad said.
Yeah, my father thought Mr. Rogers was a fag. And he goes, "Is this the guy?" He came home. I'm watching Mr. Rogers. He goes, "Is this the guy who gets undressed in front of the kids?" My mother goes, "He changes his sweater." Gets undressed in front of the kids. Yeah. I think my father would have started something.
Yeah, man.
He was very aggressive. Like,
your father couldn't take these times today, man. He couldn't take these times.
He wouldn't know. Like, again, the thing is, everything's on camera. He was addicted to the scam.
Yeah.
$200,000, the feds come.
And that's $200,000 back then, which is probably $5 million.
Right,
you're buying houses for $11,000 back then.
Yeah, we bought our house for, I think, $14,000.
Right.
Took him 15 years to pay it off. And 2 weeks later, he fell off a roof. And was quadriplegic, fell off a house with no, and again, my mother, a good woman, fell off a house with no insurance, older guy. He had $200,000 in life savings. She could have taken that. And my mom goes, "I'm not taking the guy's money." And my father sitting there, can't move. I'm like, "Oh, 10 years." Now we go on welfare. He's rotting away. I'm watching My Hero. White Sword do that shit.
Yeah.
And he's telling me I'm paying for my sins. I'm like, Hitler didn't do that. Like, Hitler got out.
I know.
We're paying for your sins.
Whenever somebody says something about karma, I'm like, what about Gaddafi? All right?
That's what I mean.
He ran for 70 years. Yeah, he got stoned at the end.
That's what I mean. Gaddafi's like, torturing his cousins, and he got a $500 billion oil leak.
This is a very less Karen moment than your old man's moment, but I was in Toronto with my wife who's pregnant.
The story's already faggot.
It's No. First of all, I get 15% tougher when I'm in Toronto because of the gun laws. I know this is only ending one way.
Toronto is a cool town.
Yeah. It's great. So I get into some road rage with the guy, and I'm going.
That's a real thing, man.
I get fired up. Yeah. So all of a sudden, he's ahead of me now.
Yeah.
And he whips a battery back, and it hits the front window.
Oh, my God.
And before I even know what's going on,
Right,
I'm out of the car,
red,
and I'm at his window, pounding on his window.
Right.
And he's in this great big Escalade. Oh, yeah. This is 3 years ago. I'm pounding on his window. I'm like, "Get out of the car, motherfucker!"
Right.
And I realize he's in this great big car, but he's a little dude, and I'm just watching him melt.
That's the best, like a trucker.
Oh, dude, I spit in his face, and then I went back to the car.
It's Jonathan Katz in a wheelchair.
I went back to the car. And my wife was like, "I feel a little like Karen from Goodfellas right now." I swear to God.
That movie is so well done.
Yeah.
But again, my father ran with those kind of guys again, but not a fully Italian guy. But climbed roofs for a living, and it was always had some sort of scam going. So the wise guys say to him, his best man who was moving the money was Phil Frantantoni. That's the guy's name. Says Phil didn't get caught. He goes, if you dummy up and don't say anything, we'll get you a lawyer to pay him. So the lawyer, I'm born. Now the lawyer goes, bring your kid to the summation. And he goes, why? He goes, I will just show him to the jury. And he goes, like, can you get him to his new kid? He said, I'm telling you, you smiled at the right time, and he got off. And he didn't rat, So my mother said, listen, they said the gift for not ratting is we'll give you one favor. And said, you're asking to get out of the whole thing, which they didn't do, really. And my father claims he did that, but clearly he did not.
Right.
It was actually...
He still showed up at the barbecues.
I mean, listen, he fucking was installing antennas, and that's how he paid the mortgage,
Right.
He was... Okay. When he falls off the roof, guy's got no insurance, on welfare. This lawyer who just got this black kid who, Frankie Woodson, amazing, he just got hit and paralyzed, and they sued the helmet company. Like, you get creative because these companies, you get sue somebody that's involved.
Who's ever got the money?
They feel sorry. Exactly.
Right.
Where's the money? So the money's not in insurance, the money's not in the house. The guy goes, we'll sue the ladder company. Now, I knew something my mother didn't know. And my father's paralyzed. Jewish lawyer. We got him a beer. He's like,
I like that little Jewish lawyer. I like that little fact. You go for the best.
It's a fact. It was a fact. Half true. And I said to him, what do you need? He takes the money. And quite frankly, I'm like, hey, you can't move, but fuck, I'll get a Corvette or something. Because we're gonna I went to the welfare office. I think I saw the same biker.
Hey, Dad can't use this.
So I'll get you the good Xanax. And okay. He goes, we'll sue the ladder company. He's the only one to sue, but they got money. I go, you want to tell him, man? He stole the ladder. It said Bell Atlantic on it. He passes by a Sears Roebuck store. He sees the Bell Atlantic guy doing it. He just took it. The guy had to use the stairs to come down.
The guy was on the roof.
Put it on the ladder.
I love that.
Put it on the van.
I love that.
And the fucking
what's that movie? It's like where he sees the thing come at the end. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like Alanis Morissette. Isn't it ironic? It's fucking.
It's ironic, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's like being paralyzed.
Jeez.
On
the ladder you stole. Oh, God.
Of course, it's like rain on your wedding day.
Right.
So I mean, the most depressing. I was picking up the color of the metallic
fuck.
And
that is fucking so painfully funny.
Yeah.
He stole the ladder.
At that point, I said, the only guy I have to try comedy.
Yeah.
It said Bell Atlantic on it.
Oh,
and it was not tall enough for what he needed it for. Again, he would put it on top of a picnic table, not a regulated thing. And again, everything I realized I'm from a 1940 Damon Runyon movie. But I used to shoot pool. I had grandeurs. I was a good pool shooter for a while. Yeah. Me and my buddies would hustle.
You have a reputation for that, actually.
I would hustle 9-ball. My buddy Deej was a little bit worse than me. We would pretend we didn't know each other. 3-way 9-ball, money on the 5, money on the 9. He would set me up for a shot. I hit him in. We split the money up. One time, this is hilarious. It was a black kid, a great pool shooter. Came in on it, and Deej couldn't make it. So the kid notices that we know each other. He shows up on peppermint schnapps. He figures out the fucking thing. And then the guy goes, I'm not paying you. And then me and the black kid basically just go, you're paying us. And then the black kid goes, why don't we just rob guys? I go, yeah, that's what a great black input. One of my best friends goes, he figured it out, and then we still took his money. He's like, we should just rob the guy. We were pool cues. There was times in your life where you surprised yourself. Like, I was spending that blue Corvette. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Tell me the pool cue fight.
Okay. This is I really like. My old man would have not liked this. The way I did it was weaselly. The way I did it was weaselly. So
half of my 30 fights were through some weaselly meets.
You got a number? 30 fights?
25, 30, something like that. I said 25. My buddy put it at 30.
Rocky Marciano was 49-0. Yeah. All right, place called the Old Homestead in the inner city, like a lot of these Italian guys. Like Hoboken is filled with bars with Irish names owned by Italian guys. The Irish, they drink, it's money,
Right, yeah.
O'Reilly's, this is Anthony.
Yeah, sure.
Sinatra's old man. People think he was half Irish.
You brand it.
And jukeboxes, they're stuck in the old times. Insane gamblers live in this town, and we were shooting pool for money. Kind of a real thing where like I was every once in a while. My problem was I was inconsistent. Like I would look like Willie Moscone or Willie Mays, the pool, and if I was drinking, whatever. But sometimes when I was drinking, I was not bad, but I was too inconsistent to ever go pro. I'm losing money for my friend because he set me up for the thing, and the guy figures it out. I'm getting mad at him. I get mad at my buddy, and the fight started with me and my friend. I'm like, fuck you. And then we start talking about sisters or something. And then I'm like, what are we going here for? You know?
Yeah.
Because, my friend, one of my friends dated my sister. My sister was very pretty, 15 months younger than me. One guy in my friends asked me to date her. And after my father fell, by the way, we usually move. And,
coast is clear.
He asked, I go, yeah, you could date her. And the kid was a good-looking kid. And but seeing his car at my house and not for me, you know.
Yeah.
I'll go, Joe, where you guys at? Yeah. And so that was kind of between us. And now he's pissed off. I'm losing money. And now it got to the point where I said, "Did you fuck my sister?" Like Jake LaMotta. And the kid who we ended up fighting broke us up. Did the right thing. What are you doing, your friends? I'm like, fuck you. I go, fuck you for breaking up. So
right.
I'm drunk, and one of those things where the kid just seemed like an asshole to me. And after he did that, he becomes very condescending and like judgmental. He goes over his friends like this guy. You know, he said something like I'm uneducated or something. And I said, well, of course I'm not educated. We're not,
Who is good at pool that is educated?
Exactly. David Cross was not shooting pool. He was writing ironic monologues, though.
Yeah, in English class.
It was like something, it really pissed me off. And I just had that in my head. At some point, I wish I had a better, it's the truth. I wish I had a better lead up. At some point, a full brawl, the only full, out of a Western bar brawl I've ever been in.
Yeah.
To where the kid Frankie I told you about with the Napoleon thing was such a maniac that a full beer, you knew he was in a mode to fight if he went like this, grabbed the neck like this. And I saw him hit guys with beers.
Right.
And not even, like, if he thought a guy was an asshole like that, he would go, I don't know.
Right.
And they blame it on the guy in front of him. I took that to heart, and this kid was a bigger kid. This is a real shithead story. I probably never told this ever.
I'm glad I got it out of you. Yes.
And I went up with a pool cue. I turned it around, and he's like, I'm breaking up. He was being a good guy the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Two girls are fighting. I went right in the back of the shin like this and went like this, and I kind of hit a girl, which, I'm not into that. Let's say yes,
unless you pay.
But it was his girlfriend. Grabs Zambuca, a flaming shot of Zambuca, throws it in my face, a very, like that sticky type of liquor.
Oh, yeah.
And blind, John, I hit 420, all-state baseball player. I as hard as I could, I just blind like this. I don't know how I didn't hit the girl.
Wait, your batting average is 420?
I guess the weed thing, yeah. But no, I was 421. Played third base. Yeah. I hit over 400, led the team in home runs. I couldn't, 4 hours to drive to first base. But again, hand-eye coordination.
It's a
I don't know how, if I hit the girl, I would be getting out of jail tomorrow. Maybe.
Yeah.
I blindly took a swing with a pool cue, one of those shitty like bar pool cues is wooden that doesn't come apart. Jackie Gleason in The Hustler, left the Barbudo, Tom Cruise was using whatever. And I just as hard as I could, and I fucking whacked this kid right across his chest. Summer, guinea pig on, something like this, and really. I visited him in the hospital. I felt terrible. I bought Percocet over him.
It's good you didn't fucking break it across his face.
I'm so lucky that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And I'm so lucky that... and he was like, dude, the scar's perfect. He's like, get me laid. That's what he said. And after that, I love him.
Yeah, you guys are best friends. Yeah, sure.
But again, I was so drunk, I could have easily hit... God was with me that I didn't hit that girl.
Yeah.
And totally a weasel ass wipe.
Oh, man. I'd say of the 25 to 30 fights I've been in...
Getting lower.
25 to 30 of them I've been fully drunk.
Yeah,
well, you know what? That's like 3 fights I was not drunk.
My father always sober.
Yeah,
my father.
Well, that's it.
That thing in the
that's the calling
that
part.
Boardwalk story, maybe 2 cotton candies.
Right. a little sugar high. All right, that's something.
That
Yeah.
Okay, great.
But then also, it still took me those 20 drunk fights
Right.
to now have the courage to be like, hey, wait a second. You know, I know how to handle myself.
Well,
I know what it's like to get hit in the face.
I'm sure you know. Yeah, that's the other thing. You know, you get hit, but if you know you can get hit.
Right. And one of the fights where I wasn't drunk was early on, where I took a shit kicking for a guy who was running his mouth, and then I look. And the guy's at the top of the hill.
Again, man, there's always somebody tougher. My old man.
Always.
But my father was always willing to find out.
Yeah.
And look, the jail thing with me in L.A., again, the Quincy thing, the guard would get me at 3 a.m. He goes, you're showering by yourself. I don't know who the fuck you know, but you're going to shower by yourself. And I go, that doesn't mean what you watch it. The guard would have to, but he goes, you're not showering with Crips. What? You're not showering with the Wu-Tang Clan.
I like, wait, you're not going to watch, are you? This is your fucking Jersey Italian homophobe.
You have to affiliate yourself with a clan. I'm like, Wu-Tang or Ku Klux?
Right, yeah.
I'd rather be with RZA than, I got my own shower, and then I got, Okay. Quincy Jones said this, I guess. His daughter Rashida is the sweetest person.
Oh my God! And fucking.
I weaseled my way onto a private jet. He was the Sinatra generation, Quincy, right?
Yeah.
So I was because I had to go to rehab the first fucking year because I owed that. Quincy wouldn't let me get fired. He goes, man, you a funny cat, man. He goes, Miles Davis had a problem. Like Miles Davis.
I love that.
City guy, and he goes, be at the Pierre tomorrow, fucking noon. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, how you getting to LA tomorrow? I'm like, I'm flying in a plane. He goes, fuck that, man, cancel that shit. I'll pay for the ticket. We got the wings. Go to Wings. Wings attached to a plane.
Yeah.
And it's me, Quincy Jones, his other daughter, Kadita, with Peggy Lipton, the other mulatto chick, who's talking to her boyfriend, talking about a difference in life. I'm on a private jet for the first time. I'm 27, making $8,000 a week doing a thing.
Out of rehab.
I had to go to rehab because, because of blow. And taking a swing at a cop.
Yeah.
And Tyson didn't win. And he likes it. Man, I thought Tyson would win that too, but shit, man. He really talk like that. He gets me in a limousine. This actually happened. I'm at the Pierre Hotel a half an hour before he says to me, I get in a limousine with him, his daughter Kadita, some business guy, a white guy, whatever, a white broad he's fucking who's 23. They all had probably like, and fucking giddies are like this too. They ran out to look at us because they were our age. Like Quincy would come with a white chick, smoking hot, not allowed to look at us. Like, looking down. And
wow.
He invited us to a club where we're at his table.
How old were his daughters?
Rashida is the one from Parks and Recreation. Kadita is the older one.
But at the time,
at the time she was 29, and
so he's with his daughters with chicks younger than his fucking daughters.
I'm gonna say they were maybe
the same age,
pretty much.
What a fucking animal!
And then the chick he's fucking gets up to use the bathroom. Again, this is a culture thing. He gets up to use the bathroom, and he says, "Are you gonna water your lily?" I'm like, "Lily? What's I got a pussy, I guess." Right in front of his daughter. I had a bet on the Packer Cowboy NFC Championship game. As we get higher up, I lose the game. And Kadita, so I'm going to call my boyfriend. He's in Bel Air. I'm making plans for the ladder. She probably $4,000 phone calls for 4 hours, and I felt like she wanted to talk to me. I wanted who won the Packer. Can you ask your boyfriend at the Packer game? And she goes, Tupac, who's winning the Packer game? And she was dating Tupac Shakur. She talked to Tupac Shakur.
Get the fuck out.
I go, you're making plans in Bel Air? What a fag. But we get in the limousine to go to the thing. And you can tell I'm excited. He's like, I remember this first time, too, man. I'm like, oh, shit.
Maybe Quincy had fucking Tupac shot for fucking his daughter.
I got to tell you one thing. He didn't seem thrilled about it. He was the fucking editor of Vibe magazine. John, my hand to God. I'm in the limo with him. Tupac and Biggie are on the cover. 8 months before whichever one died first. Tupac, right? Whichever one died. And you realize I'm telling you, woo. Quincy goes to his daughter who's dating him. Out loud says this: the motherfucker's both gonna be dead in a year. He goes, I tried to get out of this shit. Sinatra and me got the fuck away from guys with guns. Remember what the fuck are they doing? He goes, it's bullshit. And he goes, and Tupac's just a bougie fuck. He grew up in Baltimore with like a liberal arts, which was kind of drilling. That motherfucker was at what was it, Punky Brewster's birthday.
That's so funny, dude.
Quincy Jones goes, thug laugh, motherfuckers.
That is the best.
Okay.
I think if you took that fucking light and swept it over anybody's life, you'd find some fucking bullshit like that.
He was the best guy of all time. Now, my father's dead. I'm like, I hate it. When I see my father in the afterlife, a black guy became you.
yeah.
So
and your dad smacks you.
I became instant friends with him. Like we were friends.
Yeah.
And he thug life, punky. They said punky fruit. Thug life. We said thug. Yeah. Now, Biggest Mo, that guy's got that lazy eye.
Yeah.
He became like a father figure to me. I would have got fired for the I fucking fucked up with drugs twice, and he made sure I went to rehab, and
Right.
And the second, it's so funny how I'd probably not be in show business. The second half that he made me go to, I did really good work. I was getting sketches on, and those sketches are what Norm Macdonald saw and got me into dirty work.
Right.
Became friends with Norm. Gets me into Howard Stern, and the rest is, you directly trace back to Biden's table.
Norm, oh shit, Norm
took me to Howard as a guest because he was a regular. Howard loved him,
right?
And
right.
He was a regular. Norm was afraid he was going to bring up some shit because Norm was married, but he married before he got on SNL. He hit huge at that time because he was those jokes. He was so funny, man.
Right.
He might be the best weekend up.
Right.
So I love Michael Che, but there's no the other kid that seems like a nice kid to Harvard kid, but there's no danger. Like it's not danger to say.
Yeah.
Like
Michael Che is supposed to be the danger because he's black.
Well, let me tell you, he's a smart, unbelievably funny guy, but Norm was dangerous.
Right.
And
that's so funny. I don't think of him like that.
He would say jokes that really could end your career. Norm would do.
Right.
And one of the just wittiest when he got fired because of OJ jokes. Again, this is Don Omar, the head of NBC, was friends with OJ, and he's warning him. And Lorne Michaels doesn't throw you a line at all. Lorne Michaels is such a Dr. Evil. I met him 4 times. I got the most insane Lorne Michaels. I should have punched him in the face. I so trying not to be a Jewish guy.
Yeah.
You're having a white party in Southampton,
right?
And when Norm got fired, Don Omar calls me. He goes, Norm, I got bad news. And Norm goes, what? He goes, you're fired. He goes, really? He goes, why? He goes, because you're not funny. He goes, that's even worse news. He goes, I'll never get a job.
I had to take that in stride like that.
2 years. Again, he'd be every comic's hero, but I actually talked to him. I was a voice of reason with Norm sometimes. I had to talk him out of this. He went back to host 2 years later when we were doing the sitcom, and this is the monologue. He doesn't tell the writers he changed the monologue to this. They think he's going to do something else, and the writers gather around to pretend they laugh at the joke. So, and there's a lot of funny guys at that time. I think Smigolo came back to help him do this thing, and because they all love Norm. So the monologue was supposed to be something whatever. This is what he does. He goes, hey, I know you guys probably thinking I got fired a couple years ago for not being funny. I'm not hosting the show. What is that about? I must have gotten funny. I go, no, I'm still not funny. The show has gotten awful. That was the deal. He goes, I'm telling you, I'm not funny at all. But the show, he goes, well, you'll see. And then it's one of the worst shows I've ever seen.
Because everybody was pissed off at him. Oh, what a great fuck you, dude. I would live for that fuck you moment.
This is a comic. To make sure the monologue killed and made sense, he tanked some of the sketches. But what he wanted to do was do that in every sketch. Run to the elevators with me, get in the cab, and not go back. And leave them with dead air. And I said,
and high-fiving you.
I said,
like a real live dirty work.
Costing me work.
Like a real live dirty work. We did it.
I said, no, like dirty work made more than $4 million. Neither one of us will ever work again.
I know.
But I said, Norm, this is exactly what when he said that to me, I immediately laughed like you did. And then I go, can I say something? I go, they'll erect a statue outside every comedy club. Those 2 racists at Stanford and Son, you'll be like, you fuck their kids. Yeah. And they're 11. But you'll never work. Right. Or I put a hit out on them. And think of what you'll do to Maya Rudolph.
Yeah. What about us? Right.
He was, but Norm is that true rebel why we were a lot of trouble together. The first night, playing 9-ball, first night of rehearsal in Toronto on Young Street. And I won $9,000 off him playing pool.
Wow.
And just one of those nights I was jumping balls, going on. Did someone send you? And my manager said, "You got to lose to him. What are you talking about? He's a star." I go, "He's not that kind of guy."
Yeah.
You know, I think he would be more pissed at that. The next day, Norm brings in the Canadian money that you don't respect with the goose. You know? Yeah. In a wheelbarrow, $9,000. I'm like, that's a blowjob at the brass rail.
Wait, he bought in 9,000 loonies?
$9,000. Yeah.
Fucking wheelbarrow?
That geese on it.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, all right, you got me. I left it for the maid. I didn't take it home. I said, this is embarrassing. I left the maid $9,000. She would have fucking.
How did that? First of all, how did that not become a fucking story somewhere? That could have.
It was crazy people. A midget was in the show.
Right.
I swear to God, in the fucking one of the funniest guys ever. I don't know who it was in the goddamn production office. It said Artie Lange 8 a.m. Norman Guy. It said midget 8 a.m. That's all it said. It was midget. Not the guy's name. All right. This is 1997. Big midget too, like the Peter Dinklage of his time.
Yeah. Willow. It was fucking Willow.
I mean, it wasn't. All right. So anyway, he goes. Guy's agent, who's also a midget.
Yeah.
He goes comes in screaming like, we have to have a thing. The guy's got a name, Paul. Like, all right, he's not a admit, and really, we're going to protest, blah blah blah. Next day, it says Norman, Paul the midget. Paul the midget. The guy pulls him out 2 days. We couldn't work because the midget wouldn't.
Oh no!
They tried to like pick it. I said, "They'll never see the signs." Like everything was a worse midget joke. You know, it just was that kind of. It was that kind of. It was the last time of that.
Actually, my buddy is friends. The guy I usually do this podcast with. He lives in Canada though. When we're together. And he's friends with the guy you fought in Dirty Work.
Okay.
Like the one guy.
One of the guys. Those stunt guys.
Yeah.
Talk about the pussy they got. I would read the fucking thing. I go, Norm, these are stunts. Like you're gonna throw yourself on a cocker. No, some stunt guy. Like they're with like Arizona Nines. Those guys, and they would throw themselves on the concrete. And the fat stunt guy that was my guy was like, the worst thing I did was get hair taped to his head back. Or something. I think it still didn't clear up. But again, it was just Jack Warden played my father. He Chevy Chase was up there, was drinking at an insane pace. Chris Farley.
Yeah, there were some great cameos.
Never told this Farley story because I was, but now Farley, whatever. I promised her I wouldn't tell it, but I don't give a shit. Norman had everybody that came up. Sandler came up. Stamos came up. Rebecca Romaine's in it. The midget couldn't eat lunch. Farley was so out of control. He died a week later.
Oh,
no, he hosted SNL in between Dirty Work and Time. And he was just so the kind of guy though in his trailer he would eat a piece of steak, he would put the pork in the middle of the steak and it's like it would bend into his mouth, you know? And he would hire strippers just to smoke pot and talk to them, like the depressive guy. The kind of fat guy who couldn't talk himself into pussy. I can always kind of talk myself into pussy, you know?
Yeah, right.
Beer gut, you know? But he was fucking a chick that Lorne Michaels always had these hot assistants, and Sandler, Rock, and David Spade were right outside Lorne's. Now he knows she's cheating on him with a big time guy. Doesn't know who it is. It's Steve Martin, and it's fucking. We're an asshole first of all. He's got to fuck Farley. So he's real in love with her. He goes into Lorne's office. Sandler, Rock, Spade can all hear this. He goes, "I don't give a fuck. You know what? I don't care. He might be richer than me, better looking than me, but there's no way he's funnier than me." And Sandler goes, not funnier, but right. There's no way he's funnier. He thinks like a shitty executive or something. It's amazing.
That's so funny because it's the opposite of me. It's like, well, he's funnier, but I literally kick his ass.
You know, as if it was Van Damme in his prime or something.
Yeah.
I give you Van Damme.
Well, I'm funnier than Van Damme, so I got that one.
Actually, those new Doritos commercials.
Right.
I hate when they make guys like that funny. But Farley tells a story. Norman would have a hidden camera and get celebrities to tell a story. I go, is this for blackmail or just like for the real? I go, you never knew him. So Farley tells a dark. He went out to write Black Sheep to put him up at Shutters, 5-star hotel. I've never told this. 5-star hotel in Santa Monica. Now he goes out onto the pier. Farley's a celebrity now, you know, Tommy Boy. Yeah. He sees 3 homeless chicks who look like the Bowery Boys, just got some brown dirt on them, you know, but they're kind of good looking. And he goes, "How'd you like to fucking stay in a 5-star hotel?" And I go, "Yeah, I feed you," and they're like blowing them to stay in the hotel, and he goes, and me and Norman go, tell him there's a camera. So he goes, I was staying there for a month doing the fucking half, they're blowing me. And then I came home, and they're kind of nice and everything. I come home, the one girl says, you know what, we don't feel comfortable with having sex with this. And you think he's going to go, so he goes, well, I was like, hit the bricks, whore! He does that. Hit the bricks, whore. I go, the end is you threw them out. The end is he threw them out.
He finally got it together. He finally got it together.
I'm not paying for their Toblerone.
Yeah. What, do you think we're friends?
Finally got it together.
Oh,
You're
so
washed
funny.
up now, huh? You got a little dirt on your face.
Yeah.
And he just kept being funnier. Norm probably still has that tape.
Oh, so funny.
He goes to the after party. Norm asked me, out of control, whores at the Waldorf Astoria. He sneezed a Coke Rock onto a sketch in front of the funniest part of the sketch. And I go to watch him at the party. Norm goes to talk to somebody. Norm goes, watch Farley. My blood alcohol's 9, you know. And he disappears into a bathroom with Andy Dick and comes back. He goes, what's up with Farley? I go, bad news, man. He went into a bathroom with Andy Dick. There's 2 reasons a guy goes into a bathroom with Andy Dick. Neither one good. Norm, quick as hell, goes, holy fuck, I hope he's high. And he was high.
Yeah.
And then he died. Like, that movie got me a deal for like $750,000. The last of that happening.
All right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. They stopped doing that.
Because King of Queens happened. They figured the fat guy throw like a fucking uniform on him. And $750K. The first check was $250,000. And my father's been dead. I show my mother the check, and she's like, "What do you have to do for this money?" So I was laundering money.
The last time I saw this much money around here.
No, exactly. I don't have to steal the ladder anymore.
Right.
And it was a $250,000 check. And I've always been able to make good money, but with the demons, I like Anthony, but I wouldn't have to go to Compound Media every day for.
Well, not that much.
It was so much fun with that. Anyway,
yeah.
I got a lot more. We'll do it.
Yeah, listen, this is, I really fucking appreciate it, man. I can't thank you enough, man. Artie Lange, everybody.
You're a good man.
Thanks.
Hit the bricks.
You whore.